Hello everyone, we are going to do the Capstone chapter 6 right now. So at first, open the file, enable content, go to file, save as, and just save it as last and first name accordingly. After that, we are asked to do appropriate cell names for cell B18. So B18, just right click on it and click define name. It would have a name automatically, so we'll just use that for now. And B21. Gross profit. So that's done. Now, for the next part, C, go to formulas, go to name manager, and you'll see that the name employee hourly wage is already there. We will edit this and change it to hourly wages 2019. Hit OK, and now you'll see the three names in this Excel file. So that's part C. For part D, we will calculate the net profit. So the net profit is already calculated. You can see the formula there. It's just gross profit minus total production cost. So instead of typing the cell, we'll use the newly created cell names. That is the gross profit minus total production cost. And you'll see the same answer as before. So that's part D. Now for part E, we are asked to create a new worksheet and rename this worksheet as range names. Now once you do that, click on A1 and from the formulas click on paste names. Use in formulas paste names, and you'll see all the names that we have defined in our previous worksheet. Just click on paste list and you will see the names here. There's another way to do this. So if you use your keyboard and just press F3, you can see that this will pop up and you can do it from there as well. So that's a shortcut if you want to know. Otherwise, just doing this is fine. And you'll have the names pasted there. So that's part E done. So that is the range names. Now we'll move on to the goal seek. So for the forecast, we are asked to use the goal seek to change the units sold and find the value we need to sold to exhaust all these materials. So here you can see the raw materials consumed are 300. So first go to the data tab. We'll use the what if analysis goal seek. We want to sort that this value, we want to make it 15,000. That is consume everything by changing number of units sold. And once you hit OK, you'll see it automatically calculate the number of units needed to sell to make it to a 15,000. Now, in part B of goal seek, it's asked to answer question and answer. So here, the number of units we need to sell is 5,000 to exhaust all the raw materials. Now, why is this not a feasible option? If you look at forecast and you see that the maximum capacity per week is 200. So it's almost impossible that you can sell 5,000 when the maximum capacity is 200. So you can write that maximum capacity per week is 200, so 5,000 is then not possible to sold. Something like this. So add your answers. You can use wrap text to show all the lines here. And that should be it. So that is part B of goal seek. Now let's move on to the one variable data. So for the one variable data, what we'll do is first we'll start in cell E3 as instructed and type 10, then 20, then select this two and drag it down to make it up to 200. Now we are asked to calculate here total production cost. So click equal, hit total production cost, okay. Now here we'll use gross profit, and finally we'll use net income, net profit here, or net income. So that's it. Now we'll use the one variable data table and complete it with using the data what if analysis. So for what if analysis, go to data table, and here we don't need to give a row input because we are only going to change the column input cell here, and that is the number of units sold, that is from 10 to 200. So the number of units sold is this one. We'll click B4 and click OK, and it will give you the data. For this, we are asked to make it into a accounting format with 2 decimal places. So my currency is a little off because I'm using the Indian keyboard here. You can change it to dollar. Here is the dollar sign. Okay. So that's it. Accounting number format with 2 decimal places. Now we're asked to apply custom format to change this because this should be our headers, and right now it's showing numbers. So right click on it and click on format cells, and this should be our total cost or total production cost. So we'll just type here. Make sure you have a apostrophe sign and type here total cost just to make it short. We don't want to write total production cost, it will be too big. For this is our gross profit, so we'll type here gross profit, and then we have our net profit here, or net income. We'll just write net profit for now. And that is our net profit. We have now substituted the headers from the values. And next we are asked to answer question number 2. So for the one variable data table, how many units must be sold to net over 5,000? So for net over 5,000, we need to sell at least 200 units. So our answer here should be 200. So that is our one variable data table completed. Next, we'll move on to the two variable data table. For the two variable data table, we are asked to copy these numbers. It should be the same, and we'll paste it here. Next, here we want to calculate the net production or net profit. Net profit. And here we want to have $15. So first we'll write here 15. Next we want here 20 with 5 increments, and then we'll just copy this to make it up to 40. As before, we will use the data table in what if analysis. Here the row input should be number of hourly wages, that is the hourly wage 15 we are changing, and column input will be same as before, that is the number of units sold. And once you hit OK, this will generate the table automatically. We want to make it up to 2 decimal place in accounting format, so it should be accounting format in 2 decimal places. So this should look like this. Next step is to change the name here. So we'll go to Format Cells and we'll change this into wages because we were changing here wages and trying to calculate the net profit. So that is our two variable datasheet. Now we are asked to complete question number 3 and 4. For question number 3, what will be the uh, net profit if 200, how many units needs to be sold for $20 per hour and 4,000. So $20 per hour, 4,000, we need to sell 160 units. So this answer should be 160. Next, for the two variable dataset, $40, 4,000. So $40, 4,000, we need to sell 200 units. What is the net income based on the base case scenario? So that is a different question. So we'll go to the scenario manager now. So that is part of the two variable data table. So now this is done. We'll go again to the data table and create a scenario. To create the scenario, first we will add the scenario name, that is, first would be our best case. So for the best case, we want to change um, units sold. You can hit the control button on your keyboard to select multiple values, unit selling price, and employee hourly wages, or use comma to select one by one. Hit OK. You can change the name here when this is created, however you want, and click OK. For the best case scenario, they're saying this should be 200, 30, and 15. Hit OK. We'll add now worst case and then most likely. So first worst case, hit OK. For our worst case, this should be 100, 25, 100, 25, and 20. And finally, our most likely, this should be 150. This is 25. And finally, 15. Now click the summary button, and here we want to create the summary between production cost and net profit. Use the comma or use the control to select multiple cells. We are selecting production cost and net income. Hit OK, and Excel will generate now a summary sheet. It should look like this. Now in your practice exercise, we have edited the summary sheet. So delete this row. We'll delete this height. We'll delete all these rows here. This was our unit sold. This is our unit price. And this is our hourly wages. Here is our total cost or production cost. And this is our net profit. We'll delete this cell, expand this, and this is our summary worksheet. Now answer 5 on the question. So what is the net income based on the best case scenario? So this is our best case scenario. Our net income would be 5250. So our net income would be 5250. We'll just make it into a accounting format with 2 decimal places. So this is done. That is our scenario manager. Now we'll use the last part, that is the use solver option. To use the solver option, you need to check if you have the solver. So right now I have only data analysis but not the solver. So install the solver, go to File, Options, and go to Add-ins. and then hit on Excel add-ins, go. You'll see the solver add-in here. Just check this and hit OK. The data analysis tool is also a good tool. You would probably use this in some analysis. You can try that out. It's also really nice to use. So now that we have added the solver add-in, you'll see the solver icon here. Go to forecast, and we need to create a solver. So for the solver, what we want to create what is the net income or profit that we can generate max. You can also set a value if you want, but now we want to calculate max value. And by changing the variable units sold, we want to add some constraint because we know that the units sold, for example, must be less than or equal to 200. We also need to add another variable, that is the raw materials consumed must be less than or equal to raw materials in units that are available. And finally, the labor hours consumed must be less than or equal to labor hours available. So once we have these three constraints done, we will solve this. Once I solve this, you'll see that it has created a new solving, that is maximum profit of 250 when the maximum number of units sold is 200. Now click on answers and click OK. Excel will automatically create an answer report for you. Again, this should be in dollar. This is just my Excel, sorry for this. So we'll make it into accounting for now. For you guys, it should be automatically dollar signs, so you guys don't need to worry about that. So this shows that our maximum profit should be 5250, and we'll now answer question number 6 to 8, that is, what is the most profit you can generate? It would be 5250. How many labor hours was consumed when maximum? So maximum labor hours consumed was 50. So we'll write here 50. What is the total production cost when this is maximum? You have to find this from this. That is, total production cost is 750. So total production cost is 750. And that is our question 6 to 8. Now last part, go to page layout, set the orientation to landscape, and now we need to save the worksheet. Make sure you select, group all the worksheets together, go to header and footer, create a custom footer, last and first name. This should be file name and tab names, and hit OK, and you are done. Now make sure you save and you are ready to submit the capstone. If you have any question, let me know. Till then, have a nice day. Bye.